Hello everybody, we are finally back for part 3 of Sakura Succubus. My mic is a little too loud, hold on, we're gonna adjust this. Testing, hello, hello. Alright, let's jump right in, shall we? Beep, 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 beep. What? I'm woken the next day by the shrill beeping of my alarm clock. Its tiny ring pierces my skull like a skewer, and I wince. God, would it kill you to be quiet for, 5 seconds? My alarm clock, of course, doesn't listen to me. It's an inorganic object that can't think or feel. Sometimes I wish I was an Sometimes I wish I was an wow, oh my god, I just said this word. Sometimes I wish I was an inorganic object too. Then I wouldn't have to suffer from so many debilitating headaches. I must have had too much to drink yesterday. What happened again? The events of last night returned to my befuddled mind in drips and drabs, but beep, beep, beep. My alarm clock's still trilling away, as instant as ever. It's so loud it's starting to set my teeth on edge. I guess I can't ignore it any longer. Not if I want to cling to whatever remains of my sanity. Alright, I'm coming. Shut up already. I haul myself from my futon and seize my clock, as I have every day for the last 3 years. I turn it off, cutting short its incessant clangor, then sign it in relief. Finally, peace and quiet. Now, I can think about last night a little more clearly. Work got out late, I remember that much. Then as I meandered to the train station, I was struck with the sudden desire to have a stiff drink. And what's more than sudden desire to see Marina. I traveled across Tokyo to that classy bar where I first met Marina. I hadn't seriously expected to see her again. The lady luck must have been on my side, because there she was. We talked for a little, and drank rather more than a little. Then she invited me back to her office. We spent a long time together, and then... Thought my alarm clock had been silent. My forehead still throbs. I press a hand to my temple, my teeth wearying my lower lip. Images flash through my mind, all of them equally improbable. Horns, wings, a tail. Marina isn't a human. She's a succubus. She sustains herself through the strength of human adoration, and her physical stamina is far greater than any average woman's. Marina's not the only succubus in Tokyo either. Aku Ayu, the famous idol, is another one of her younger sisters, and so was that strange girl I met on the train, Cosmos. I think Marina said her name was. Now Marina's taken a special interest in me. Succubi all over Japan will flock to me. Marina warned me as much before she asked her chauffeur to take me home. My sisters will all start coming after you, desperate to claim your heart. I hope that you will have enough stamina to handle all of us. Did that really happen? It sounds patently unbelievable. But the longer I lie here, the sharper the memory becomes. Marina really is a succubus? She transformed before my very eyes. I might have been drunk last night, but I wasn't so trash I'd invent a ridiculous scene like that whole cloth. My imagination is not that good. That's why I wanted to become a photojournalist rather than a writer. I'm a skeptic, and I can only believe things I've seen them with my own eyes. I'm bad at playing pretend. A few days prior, I would have scoffed at the mere ideal of a succubi. but Marina's inhuman features have swept my doubts aside. How can I explain her wings, her horns, without the aid of supernatural? You can't, friend. Watsuzuki Marina sure is incredible. In more ways than one. I roll over my futon, sighing. Since it's a Tuesday, I need to get up, freshen up, and get to work. But my daily grind seems so much less pressing than per usual. My mind's almost entirely encompassed with Watsuzaki Marina and her Succubi sisters. What's going to happen to me now? I guess, as of today, my normal life has well and truly ended. Despite my ominous partons, however, the day unfolds more or less the same as it always does. I get dressed, eat a hasty breakfast, shove my shoes on, then head off to work. I catch the 7:30 train as per usual, and relax at the door slide shut with a hiss. My hour commute to work passes uneventfully, though I keep my eyes peeled. Glancing this way and that through the crowds, I see hide nor hair of the elusive cosmos. I arrive at work a little after 8:30 and greet my fellow employees. Then, I set to work on the numerous tasks my boss set me the day prior. Work finishes at 17 on the dot. Much to my relief, I've worked overtime so much I can't remember the last time I left the office while the sun was still up. Maybe some benevolent God heard my plaintive prayers the day prior and decided to throw me a bone. I walked to the train station in high spirits and boarded a train back home. The afternoon train headed for Tokyo suburbs is almost as busy as the morning train headed right into its heart. I'm hemmed in, as always, by businessmen and women of various ages, with a few high school kids thrown in for good measure. The businessmen keep their gazes cold and unapproachable, their narrowed eyes fixed upon the scenery as it flies past the windows. The high school students, meanwhile, are busy chattering among themselves, tapping out text messages and giggling at funny jokes. The young kids must have had a busy day themselves, full of rote learning and club activities, but they're bursting with energy. I can't help but envy them. I wish I was young too. You might not think it to look at me now, but I was pretty popular back in high school. I've always been tall for my age, so I played on the school's basketball team. That netted me quite a lot of respect among my classmates. In my last year of high school, I even managed to snag myself a girlfriend. She wasn't the prettiest or the smartest girl in the class, but I liked her a lot. Even now, I can remember her serious face and her long, dark hair. I broke things off with her when we graduated from high school and went to university. It was a mutual agreement. We were too young and immature to commit to a long-distance relationship. I don't know if I miss her per se, but I often think back to the time we spent together. She wasn't a cheerful, giggly girl like the high school students on this train. She was unusually quiet and withdrawn, but I think that's what drew me to her in the first place. She wasn't drop dead gorgeous, but she was pretty. Her charms were understated, very traditionally Japanese. She had delicate features, pale skin, and a snub nose. She always needed me to take my studies seriously. In that sense, she was rather motherly. She tried to make me lunch too, but her cooking skills were subpar. But that might be putting it nicely. Her hamburger steak was tougher than old boots. Her rolled eggs omelets split down the middle, and her ginger chicken was far too salty. I tried my best to eat her food, but I'd always end up huddled in the boys' restroom gagging. That made her scowl. She scowled when I looked at other girls too. Her jealous fits were so cute, they always made me laugh, which of course upset her all the more. I can still remember all the things we did together, though it's been over a decade since we last spoke. We studied together in the school library. She gave me chocolate on Valentine's Day, and sometimes we went to cafes and theme parks together. When was the last time I've been to a cafe with a cute girl? It feels like it's been forever. My life's been nothing but work for the last few years. I haven't had a chance to cut loose and have fun. Being an adult really sucks. It'd be nice if I could go on a date again, like I did before. Not like that'll happen. It's highly unlikely a cute, perfectly modeled girlfriend will fall from the sky and into my lap. I guess you could say Marina fits the bill, but she's not really girlfriend material. She's too mature for such a juvenile label. She's more like a partner. Though I think she'd prefer being called mistress. I like Marina well enough, but there's something a little intimidating about her. She's not at all like my first girlfriend. Then again, nobody is. It's impossible to replace a memory. I'm being stupid. I should give up on dating. I'm not a teenager anymore. What? But why? You don't look that old to me. I think you're very handsome. Ha! That's nice to know, mysterious voice. But Wait. What? I can feel something. No, two somethings, pressing against my chest. A familiar scent of floral perfume wafts about me. I feel fingers grip the sleeves of my shirt. Somebody's pressing their body against me. But who? I look down, bemused by the audacity of this mysterious person. Ah. The cat girl. And my befondlement soon morphs into full-blown disbelief. You're the cutie from yesterday, that's what I'm gonna say. Huh? The girl inclines her head. Do you really think I'm cute? You're incredibly cute, but that's besides the point. This really is a surprise. Fancy seeing you here. I recognize this girl. Or to be more precise, I recognize her body. I never got to see her face during our last encounter. The curve of her spine was pressed against my chest, her Desiree resting snugly against me. I'm quite intimately acquainted with that behind of hers, but her face was something of a mystery. It's the cat girl from the last stream, or the stream before. I can't remember. Now I can finally see that she really looks like. I can say with certainty that she's just as adorable as I anticipated. Her eyes are a soft amber, hued, lined with long, luxurious lashes. Her nose is small, cute button. Her lips are faintly shiny with gloss. Her hair is lilac, but it fades to an icy blue about the tips. It's cut in a rough kind of bob, and part of it's tied back in a stubby ponytail. Atop of her head is perched a pair of cat ears. They don't look very practical. I'm not sure what purpose they serve, really, beyond an aesthetic one. Then again, a lot of women wear high heels, Marina included, and I'm not sure what practical purpose they serve, either. Can't they damage women's feet? Plus, those sharp spikes can get stuck in gutters. This girl's choice of headgears might be impractical, but she's wearing a sturdy pair of sneakers on her feet. A pink jacket and those very, very short shorts serve to complete the look. I think she might be younger than I am, but only by a handful of years. She's most likely in her early 20s. Though, if she really is a succubus, her age might not scale like that of normal humans. For all I know, she could be centuries old. Would a 500-year-old wear a pair of cat ears, though? The jury's still out on that one. Your name's Cosmos, right? Right. Cosmos affirms this with a lethargic nod of her head. Lethargic. There's something a little off about this girl, actually. And no, I'm not just referring to the cat ears. Her movements all seem a second or so delayed. And then, there's the fact that she's pushing herself against me in the middle of a crowded train. Doesn't this girl understand the concept of personal space? How do you know my name? Marina told me. She explained who you are yesterday. You're a succubus, right? That's right. Cosmos nods once more, her stubby ponytail bouncing. It's not It's not the only part of her and anatomy that bounces either. But I try not to stare too blatantly. My boy. So you know everything Marina told you? Yeah, she did. Oh, good. Cosmo smiles. That makes this easier. I don't like explaining things. You're an act first, ask questions later kind of girl? I don't like asking, it's awkward. Talking with people is difficult for me, but I want to try and make an effort with you. Hiroki. Cosmos pushes her chest even more firmly against my body. I know we're still strangers, but I like you a lot. I want you. Me? Yes, you talked about you. Marina too. They said you smell good. They're not wrong. Cosmos inhales deeply, her nostrils quivering. You're addictive. Sweet, like candy. Marina is picky. Her taste is discerning. If she likes you, you must be special. I like you too. So let's go. The train begins to slow as it pulls into the next station. It's not the station I want to get off at, but Cosmos doesn't seem to care about little details like that. She grabs hold of my hand, her finger winding with mine. Her hand is very small and mine dwarfs hers. She's small and pixie-like, but she's incredibly insistent. Hey, Cosmos, wait. I try to pull away from her, but she doesn't listen. The train automatic doors open with a hiss, and Cosmos drags me forward. Bayoued by numerous passengers, we're all struggling to get off the train. I find myself pushed forth. I feel like a fish trying to swim upriver. The current, or in this case, Cosmos' tiny hand, is far too strong. I'm being swept away. What do you want with me? Where are we going? Cosmos glances at me over her shoulder, her ombre hair fluttering. She smiles, then says sweetly, on a date. Some date this is. I huff, my arms folded, my long legs furled up beneath a table that's a little too small for me. Dragging me off the train was the first step in Cosmos' diabolical plan. I'd barely had a chance to gather my breath when her fingers tightened about my palm once more, her eyes shining with excitement. We're going on a date, Hiroki. You need to hurry. A date? But where? What are you? Ah! And so, just like that, I found myself here. Cosmos hauled me all the way to this maid cafe. It's quite a cute cafe with white tables and pink walls. Pots of flowers bloom on almost every available surface, and the smell of cinnamon and hot chocolate lingers in the air. I love hot chocolate. Waitresses bustle past, their black flats slapping against the wooden floor. They greet customers with cheery cries of, "Welcome, master! Welcome, mistress!" Their frilly dresses fluttering around their thighs. Some of the waitresses are carrying notepads, ready to jot down orders, while others hold trays laden with slices of apple pie, strawberry sundaes, and fruity milkshakes. Cute J-pop music dances in the air, mingling with the chiming of the bell over the door and the chattering of the patrons. I think I recognize this song, actually. Isn't this one of IU's? This cafe isn't a bad place to go on a date, I guess. There are a few couples here. Other than Cosmos and I, we're acting all lovey-dovey, feeding one another bites of cake and holding hands over the tabletop. If Cosmos was my girlfriend, I'd feel right at home. But Cosmos isn't my girlfriend. In fact, I hardly know her. Things are progressing way too fast, and I can't wrap my head around all of this. When you said you wanted to go on a date, were you being serious? What do you see in me anyway? Are you trying to get one over on Marina? Are you actually interested in me, or is this some sort of a joke? What sort of name is Cosmos anyway? It doesn't sound very Japanese. Right. Then again, you are a succubus. I guess it makes sense that your name isn't Japanese. Why do IU and Marina have Japanese names then? Are they their real names, or did they make them up when they came to Earth? Maybe their succubus moms had relationships with Japanese men, and that's how they ended up like that. How long have you been on Earth anyway? And is there some sort of succubus realm out there where you guys live without humans? It is a nice name, I like it. Cosmos remains irritatingly unresponsive. I've asked her a dozen questions since our smiling Rachel showed us to our seats, and she hasn't said so much as a single syllable. Is she trying to make me feel uncomfortable? Maybe she's a sadist, just like Marina. Hey, Cosmos. I slammed my palm against the table, hoping for some kind of response. Why do you bring me all the way here if you're not going to talk? What are you doing anyway? Oh. Cosmos blinks. She sets her phone down, then looks at me beneath her eyelashes. Sorry, Hiroki. I was doing something important. It didn't look like you were doing anything at all that important to me. For the last 5 minutes, Cosmos has been busy snapping pictures of her ice cream sundae, which a kind waitress already brought over. She must have taken hundreds of pictures of the frozen treats from all sort of angles. Her tongue stuck out her mouth all the while. Her dedication to the art of photography kind of impressive. As a photographer myself, I want to commend her for her meticulousness. But another bigger part of me feels incredibly exasperated. That's a big word. Thanks to the invention of camera phones, millions of people across the globe fancy themselves as pro photographers. You see people like Cosmos everywhere, taking snapshots of every aspect of their lives so they can upload them to social media. For some reason, people seem particularly fascinated with taking food pics. I wonder why that is. Right. What if she's a vlogger? You're exactly right. What if that is her job? You were absolutely correct. Maybe it's because everyone, no matter their age, gender, or personality, has to eat. It's easy to farm likes by uploading pics of food, particularly cute food, like Cosmos' sundae. I'll admit, her sundae does look good, but I don't think there's anything that special about it. Try being a real photographer and see how difficult it is then. This is important, very. Cosmos returns my grumpy scowl with a small, serious nod. I need to take photos. I'll upload the best to Rapid Pound. Rapid Pound? The social media site with the questionable name? That's right. Another nod. You might not know this, but I'm a little bit famous on Rapid Pound. I need to upload at least 5 photos a day, or I'll let my fans down. Damn right, Layla, I love food. Define a little bit famous. I have 3 million followers. Jesus Christ! Cosmos' replies in such a simple, matter-of-fact tone, it takes me a few moments to process the full weight of her words. When the penny finally drops, however, I find myself gawping. 3 million? That's right. I've only had a Rapid Pound account for a few months, but I've become quite well known. I'll say that's something of an understatement. It is? Yes! A lot of famous actors and singers have less followers than that. I don't keep abreast of social media trends. I'm too old and irrelevant to worry about online clout, but I'm not completely clueless. She said just a little. I wish I had 3 million. I've been on Rapid Pound before, and I have a few ballpark figures to work with. Let me see. I take my own phone from my pocket, then search through Rapid Pound. I pull up Aku Ayu's profile and scan through it. Ayu's one of the Japanese most popular idols, and she doesn't even have 1 million followers. She only has 700,000. Oh yes, I heard about that. Ayu was very angry, she said. Cosmos clears her throat, then launches into an eerily accurate impression of Aku Ayu's shrill tones. Why do you have more followers than me? You don't have any special talents. I'm way cuter than you are. All you do is upload half-naked photos and cheap, crappy cosplay and pictures of food. Thousands of girls do that, so why are you so popular? It's not fair. Cosmos' impressions of my use might be a little too spot on, actually. I whine, and I have to clap my hands over my ears to blunt the worst of it. Ayu's voice is quite powerful, isn't it? It really is. She has strong lungs. Nobody can shout louder than her. I don't know about that. You gave her a run for her money there. It is. I love them cat ears. You think so? Thank you. I don't have any special talents, but I'm good at impersonations. I'm good at taking photos, too. My fans will be waiting for me to upload a new photo. I can't let them down. So saying, Cosmos begins to take a few more photos of her ice cream sundae. By this point, it started to melt, but that doesn't deter her. She focused on the dessert with laser-like precision, her nose scrunched in a concentration. Her fingers tap at the phone dozens of times each second, and the flash sputters accordingly. I watch Cosmos, leaning back in my chair. I thought she was a silly, frivolous girl, like the high school students back on the train. But maybe I was mistaken. No, she's the one with cat ears. For an influencer, she's surprisingly hardworking. Now I wonder. Hey Cosmos, what's your rapid pounding name? Why, do you want to look me up? I'm curious, yeah. I want to see what sort of stuff you've been posting. So you're interested in me? Cosmos giggles. Her cheeks turn pale pink with pleasure. Is she really that happy that I'm taking an interest in her? I'm curious. I'm Cosmos Flower, but you probably shouldn't check my profile in public. Some of my photos are pretty... lewd. Cosmos blinks at me, suddenly shy. Or I'm trying to see them too. Are you looking at my profile, Hiroki? I nod my head stiffly, finger gripping my phone like claws. My face is so hot, it feels like a furnace. I know I should click away from Cosmos' profile, but I can't. My whole body's frozen up. Cosmos wasn't joking when she said her photos are lewd. The images on her feed are incredibly revealing. There's one photo of her dressed in a lewd bunny girl costume, a bottle of alcohol lodged between her breasts. There's another photo of her wearing a micro bikini, so sheer it leaves very little to the imagination. He shouldn't have, but I'm glad he did. And then, most bafflingly of all, there's a photo of her reclining in a bathtub, playing with what appears to be a live squid. What sort of photos are these? This menagerie of hypersensual images are interspaced with shots of the sunset, slice of cake, cups of tea, various other aesthetic things. But the majority of these photos are one wardrobe malfunction away from full-blown pornography. Is stuff like this even allowed on Rapid Pound? Isn't it a violation of their terms of services? IU says that too, but she keeps trying to flag my account, but it doesn't work. I'm not showing anything too lewd, so it's fine. That's what the people at Rapid Pound say. But maybe not, but you're on pretty thin ice. I stare at Cosmos' photos, dazed. I can see Cosmos' butt, her breast, and her smooth, soft belly. There's so much of her, I'm starting to overheat. With trembling hands, I navigate away from Cosmos' far too tempting profile. Then I slot my phone back into my pocket. Do you really not mind posting photos like that for the world to see? No, why should I? I have a nice body, I'm not ashamed. And besides, it makes people happy. I like making people happy. I'm not doing anything wrong, am I? You don't think I'm dirty, do you, Hiroki? No, I don't think you're dirty. No, I guess not. Since you're an adult, you can do whatever you want with your body, and we've all got to earn a living somehow. Heh, I knew you would understand. I have a few fans. 3 million followers is definitely more than a few, provided they're not all bots. Doesn't this girl realize how famous she is? Either she's very humble or she's a total ditz. Given her slow, sleepy way of talking, I'm personally learning towards the latter. But some people hate me too. I get nasty comments. People call me mean things. They think it's bad to show my body to people, but I don't think so. I'm happy you don't agree with them, Hiroki. I knew you were a nice man. Yeah, I didn't even get a chance. What if I wanted to say she was dirty? Nah, there's nothing special about me, really. But there is. Cosmos looks at me determiningly, her voice shedding some of its sleepy, monotonous qualities. I knew you were special when Marina started talking about you. My big sis has high standards and good taste. I was certain you would be kind and gentle, and you've not betrayed my expectations. I really do like you. That's why I have to thank you. Here. Well, I'll get a bite of the sundae. What's in it? It looks like maybe pretzels, maybe a cherry. It does look pretty good. Cosmo scoops up a bit of ice cream on her spoon, then proffers it to me. I look at it flatly, my brow furrowed. What's that for? It's for you. I want you to say, ah. Oh, no, it's fine. I try to refute Cosmos' offer, kind though it is, by waving one hand before my face. I'm not a big fan of sweets. You eat it for yourself. You've been looking forward to that, haven't you? That is true. I like ice cream a lot, and cake, and flan, and tarts, and pie. I love sweets. But I love sweet humans, too. And you are one of the nicest I have ever met. Won't you let me feed you, darling? If you don't, I'll be sad. Right, yeah, raspberries. I mean, you are my boyfriend. Excuse me? And when did we decide that exactly? Yesterday, when you were on the train. That was the first time I'd ever been so close to a man. Huh? Really? Yes, really. Is it that hard to believe? It is, a little. I mean, I thought you were a succubus. I am a succubus, but I'm not like my sister. I can't sing and dance like a you can, and I don't have Marina's business sense. I'm not athletic, and I'm not good at acting, and I don't have any motivation. Princess Yu told me I was a disgrace of a succubus. She said I'd never amount to anything. I thought she was right. But then I discovered social media, and a new world opened up for me. A lot of people seem to like my content. I don't really know why, but I'm very grateful. Their love and support gives me strength. I don't want to let them down. Yu complains a lot, and Marina doesn't understand my success. Among us succubi, I'm a total weirdo. And I'm socially awkward. I find it hard to talk to people face to face, or tell them what I want. Me too, I felt that, Cosmos. You're not my favorite. Most people are kind of scary. I've never been in a real relationship before. I can only communicate through a screen. That's what I thought, at least. But then I met you. I fell for you the moment we met. That's why I wanted to be close to you. I want to give you everything. My sisters might love you, but I love you too. I'm a failure of a succubus, but I still want you to be my boyfriend. Won't you say yes, please? That would make me incredibly happy. I'm getting to it. Jeez, give me time. Aw, jeez. Cosmos looks and sounds so earnest. I feel cruel to turn her down now. I might be in a relationship of sorts with Marina, but she's not really my girlfriend. Do I get to choose it? She doesn't seem to care much about exclusivity. In fact, she told me this might happen. My sisters will all start coming after you, desperate to claim your heart. I hope that you have enough stamina to handle all of us. If Marina's okay with this, I guess there's no reason why I have to turn Cosmos down. She's a bit strange, it's true, but she's very earnest. She seems too genuine, like me, at least, though I can't fathom why. Cosmos has done a lot for me. The least I can do is give her a bit of affection in return. Alright then, Cosmos. I can be your boyfriend. For now, at least. You really meant that? Mean that? Yeah, I do. I was just thinking on the train back home. It'd be nice to go out on a date again. Was it 2? Yeah, I think it was 2. Yeah, episode 2. It was for a split second. Well, more than a split second. It's the one where I told you that... No, that's not the one. I'm a little rusty when it comes to the whole boyfriend shtick, but I'll do my best. I'll show you around Tokyo, and we'll have a lot of fun together. Dating 2 succubi at once sounds like it'd be rough, but I think I can handle it. I want to make them both happy. And to start, I'm going to help myself to that spoonful of ice cream Cosmos is holding out for me. Thanks for the food. I lean forth and clamp my lips around the metal spoon. The gooey ice cream, already melted, spreads across my tongue and slides down my throat. It's sweet and satisfying, and I shudder. What? Hiroki ate some ice cream from my spoon. That's the same spoon I was using. Well, we just had an indirect kiss. That's so naughty. Personally, I think it's a bit too late to worry about such childish things. We've done more than share indirect kisses. But if Cosmos is to be believed, and I don't think she's lying to me, she's never had a relationship before. I'm going to assume... Oh no, the girl with the bat wings is the older woman. That's her succubus form. That's Marina in her succubus form. This is the very first time she's done anything like this with a member of the opposite sex. That's being the case, I want to satisfy her. Yeah. So, this form is not their actual form. This is their to blend in form. Each one of them has probably tails and shit. Well, at least Marina does. That being the case, I want to satisfy her. As her boyfriend, her happiness is my number one priority. So, if I'm going to be your boyfriend, we need to lay down a few ground rules. Rules? That's right. I survey Cosmos from across the table, my fingers laced together. We're still sitting in the maid cafe, bathed beneath the bright, artificial lights. Me too. Cosmos has finished up her sundae with a bit of help from me, and now she's sipping a strawberry milkshake. I, meanwhile, ordered a glass of green tea. I'm not particularly thirsty, and a lot of the beverages in this place look like heart attacks waiting to happen. I don't really like sugar at the best of times, and these ice cream floats laden with syrup and sprinkles are way too much. You're famous, Cosmos, so we'll have to be careful. Careful? Cosmos blinks at me, her expression uncomprehending. But why? Why, she asks. Shouldn't it be obvious what planet this girl is living on? Yeah, definitely diabetes. If word gets out to your 3 million followers that you're dating somebody, my life won't be worth living. I might even get lynched. Lynched? Like the movie director? You've heard of Lynch? I like Erase Brain. It's one of my favorite movies. Huh? I must say, I didn't expect that. Cosmos might be wearing a pair of kitty ears and some very, very tight booty shorts, but she has a surprisingly aesthetic taste. I guess you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Next, she'll be telling me she's particle to work. She's particle to the works of Kubrick. Anyway, getting back to the subject at hand, I'm not talking about movie directors here. I'm referring to the physical act of lynching. Physical act? I'd like it if you could get more physical with me. I'd like that too, but we can only do these things in private. That's what I'm trying to say. You might not be an idol like a you, but your fans probably love you just as much as hers do. You have a huge following, and I bet most of them are men. They'd be devastated if they knew you were dating. It'll put a huge dent in your popularity. But why? Shouldn't they be happy that I'm happy? It'd be nice if things worked out like that, but people aren't that selfless. I can date you, but you'll have to keep it a secret. That'll be the best for both of you and me. Cosmo stirs her drink with her straw. I don't really get it, but I'm bad at understanding difficult stuff. I don't think this is that difficult. Maybe not for you, but it is for me. A you says I'm bad at reading the mood. I can't understand how people feel. Their emotions are too complicated. I try to understand, but it doesn't make any sense. I'm pretty dumb. But you seem smart, Hiroki. You're sweet and kind, and I know you want the best for me, so I'll trust your judgment. I won't let anybody find out about us, I promise. Thank goodness. I'm glad convincing Cosmos wasn't that hard, but I'm pretty perturbed that I had to bother convincing her in the first place. Shouldn't that be common sense? If her legions of fans find out about me, they'll tear me limb from limb. Dating a celebrity might be every guy's dream, but it's a lot more hassle than it looks. Popular girls are hard work, especially popular airheads like Cosmos. Hey, Cosmos, I have a few questions. Yes, Hiroki? What is it, darling? You said we were going to keep our relationship a secret, didn't you? That's right. I want to tell everybody how much I love you, but I'll keep quiet for your sake. You can trust me. I can keep a secret. I'm very glad to hear that, but, oh my god. Bruh. We're not being very secretive right now. Cosmos and I are walking through a crowded street like any lovey-dovey couple might. No, scratch that. No lovey-dovey couple would do what we're doing unless they have some very specific kinks. Oh my god. After our date at a cafe, Cosmos asked me if we could go shopping together. I was happy to indulge her whims under the caveat that she keeps quiet about this online. She agreed, readily enough, and I thought it'd be smooth sailing from there on. But I was mistaken. About 5 seconds after we'd exited the cafe, Cosmos swapped out her kitty ears for a pair of fake puppy ones, attached a tail to the back of her shorts, then knelt down on the ground. She handed me a lead, which she had in her pocket. Why was she carrying that around exactly? And clipped it about her neck. Now she's making me walk her about the streets in public just like a dog. To talk about embarrassing. I guess I could refute... I guess I could refute this weird suggestion of hers, though, to be fair. I did try. I asked Cosmos blankly, eyes narrowed, what on earth was she doing? And she said she was trying to make me happy. You're my boyfriend now, so I belong to you. You can do whatever you want with me. Won't you let me be your puppy, Juan? Bro, she was like, ah! That's what she said, and she looked so earnest. I felt obliged to take hold of her leash. I didn't want to make her cry. At the time, I thought I was doing the gentlemanly thing, but I'm courting a lot of stares, which is to be expected. Middle-aged women give us wide berth, their noses wrinkled, while a few high school students call of words of encouragement and give us thumbs up. Pedestrian. Oh, hey, Katie, look at that. I've seen guys walk their dogs, but I've never seen them walk their girlfriends before. Don't stare, Acroria. It's rude. I can't help but stare. Haven't you ever thought of doing that with your main squeeze, Katie? With Hiromi and Miyuko? You must be kidding. They'll never agree to something so degrading. I don't know about that. Didn't Hiromi dress up in a bunny girl costume for me at school? But what? How do you find about that? What a cute, well-behaved dog. Wonder I can get myself a pet that obedient. Hee hee. Do you think she knows any tricks? Maybe she can roll over or shake paws. I'm surrounded by degenerates. The youth of the day are disgusting. Oof, the comment. Spoke by a sharp-tongued, eagle-eyed housewife. Kinda smarts. But I guess it's to be expected. We are being pretty brazen. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody called the police on us. So much for keeping our low profile. What's society come to, eh? The world really has gone to the dogs. Hee hee hee. Hey, now that I'm looking at her more clearly, isn't it the girl? That girl kind of looks familiar. Eh? She is? That's right. I'm sure I've seen her somewhere before. Crap, this might be bad. We're going to get discovered. I took at Cosmos' lead, my palms slick with anxious sweat. Come on, Cosmos, we have to go. But why? Cosmos blinks at me, a hangdog, haha, expression on her cute face. We're making a lot of people happy. They're all looking at us, aren't they? They might be looking at us, but I don't know if it's a good thing, if that's a good thing. In fact, I'm certain it's not. We must look like a pair of perverts. There's something wrong with being a pervert? Cosmos wriggles her ass, which is barely contained by her booty shorts. I've dressed up in naughtier outfits before. People didn't seem to mind then. In fact, they liked it. I just want to make everyone smile. Everybody smile. They won't be smiling when they figure out who you are. We need to go, fast. I give Cosmos' lead another sharp yank, despite to escape, but I'm too slow. The penny must have dropped, because the few pedestrians are staring at us with a newfound intrigue. That isn't Cosmos, is it? Cosmos, the famous rapid pounder? There's no way. That's Cosmos. I didn't know she had a boyfriend. That guy's one lucky son of a gun, whoever he is. Grr, I'll knock his block off. How dare he do something so brazen? He's the worst. I'd like to shake his hand. How dare he take our cute lewd Venus away from us? He's unforgivable. Well, shoot. I knew this was going to happen. This is precisely what I warned Cosmos about earlier. The street is swimming with guys. They're glaring at us. Bloodlust evident in their narrowed eyes. Are they going to murder me? Farewell, cruel world. The 29 years I lived were always happy, but I was rather attached to this mediocre life of mine. At least I'll never have to see my hair turn gray. Sob, sob. Now, maybe he's not her boyfriend, but her social media manager. I'm sure it's just a publicity stunt. Oh, right. That's a good idea, Katie. I guess he could be a photographer. I wonder if he's got a camera in that bag of this. I bet Suge know if he was here. Isn't he into taking photos? What? I thought he was into space. The voices of these two high school students, Akira and Katie, are they called, draw me out of my panicked slump. I stare at my savior's eyes wide and cry out. Yes, that's right. I'm Cosmos the photographer. We came here to do a photo shoot. Look. I open my shoulder bag and then draw out my camera, relieved that I can carry it around with me so frequently. So that's who this guy is. I guess he really isn't Cosmos' boyfriend. Well, duh. Why would a gorgeous girl like Cosmos date a boring guy like that? You're not wrong. She could have anybody she wants. I can't believe we were getting so worried. Haha. Yeah, that's pretty funny. As if Cosmos would ever like me. Slowly but surely, the bloodlust in the air evaporates. It looks like these guys are buying my excuse. Why bother telling the truth? Lying is so much easier. Ha. Huh? But I do like you, Hiroki. Don't you remember? We've already had... Alright, that's enough of you. Out of you. I give Cosmos' lead another sharp tug before she can say anything incriminating. Let's go. We need to get this photo shoot underway. I drag Cosmos along behind me, my heart hammering all the while. Cosmos might be cute, but she's dumber than a bag of spanners. Is that what Marina meant when she told me to watch out? If I'm not careful, Cosmos really might end up killing me. My first date with Cosmos progresses more or less smoothly after that hiccup. I convince Cosmos to put the collar and the lead away. Then the pair of us spend a relatively relaxing evening walking through the streets shopping. After that, I invite her over to my home. Or to be more precise, she invites herself over to my home. I didn't want things to move too quickly, not on our first date, but Cosmos isn't one to care about silly social norms like that. You're my boyfriend now, so I want to see what your house is like. Won't you let me come in, Hiroki? I promise I'll behave. I was dead set on rejecting her, but her earnest pleas made me reconsider. Cosmos' pouting face is super effective against my fragile self-control. She can twist my arm in an instant. Fortunately, Cosmos is quite an easy-to-please house guest. She doesn't turn her nose at my home. Unglamorous though it is, she even helps me tidy up. We watch TV together in comfortable silence. Then, when our show's over, she helps me prepare dinner. I was a little worried about Cosmos' cooking skills, but she's surprisingly efficient in the kitchen. I like making a lot of different kinds of food. Sometimes I film myself eating it. My ASMR MyTube channel is very popular. I particularly like slurping up some noodles. That's why Cosmos told me, at least. I guess she's not just a rapid pounder. She's also an up-and-coming MyTube star. She doesn't have as many MyTube subs as she does rapid pound followers, but some of her videos have upwards of 10 million views. Cosmos might not be a traditional celeb, but she's famous in her own right. She has legions of adoring fans all across the internet. But she's decided to pledge her heart to me. That thought is more than a little humbling. It's been a while since I dated anybody, so this all feels new to me, but I'm trying my best. Once we finish dinner, I sent Cosmos home. I have to go to bed early so I can be up in the time for work. I have a quick shower, change into my pajamas, then set my hateful alarm clock. Then I slide into bed and close my eyes. I must have been exhausted, because fatigue washes over me like a tidal wave the moment my head meets my pillow. I yawn deeply, my eyes screwed shut, and then, less than 5 seconds later, I fall into a deep, dreamless sleep. The rest of the week passes by in a blur. I go to work every day, then spend my evenings either with Cosmos or Marina. As a guy who hasn't dated in years, it's hard to get accustomed to all this female attention. It's a bit overwhelming, to be honest, but their joint affection is hardly unwelcomed. In fact, I've never felt more loved. Dating two women at once is a bit difficult, particularly when both women are celebs, but I've never been on the one to balk at a challenge. And speaking of challenges, and that is where we're going to call it. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Hold on. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. I appreciate everyone that will stop by later and checking this out. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get back on streaming more consistent. A lot of things coming out. September's Mortal Kombat. October is Spider-Man 2 and the beta for Modern Warfare 3, so I'm looking forward to that. There's a Walking Dead game coming out this fall that I might try to stream too. Not sure, but I've been inconsistent because of health issues, and ultimately just playing with other friends and not having time. But I'm back. Yeah, there is. But yeah, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do me a big favor and hit that subscribe button. It helps out the channel with the algorithm. But I'm back. I'll try to be more consistent. But we've come to that portion of the stream where I must bid you all adieu. Goodbye, and good night.